consumers are becoming more and more empowered. The balance of power is shifting away from companies toward consumers. And so if you want to have a successful company, you have to embrace that transition. And there are a lot of factors driving that transition. So, on the internet, word of mouth is very powerful. Everybody buys ink by the barrel. If in the old world, you might optimally spend 70% of your time, energy, and dollars on shouting about your products and services, and 30% of your energy on developing great services. I think that inverts in the new world.
What do you do about people in your team if you're going to build an internet treasure?
Well, in my case, I certainly hired, we were growing very rapidly, and we hired people who were experienced operators in multi-billion-dollar companies, and I made myself a student of those people. I now have 10 years of experience in a multi-billion-dollar company, so I've been paying attention. But I think that there are a lot of, when you go about building teams, and John is being very humble. You're asking me this question because John's been with Amazon for 13 of our 15 years. And he's the one who taught me that I needed to go out and hire these very experienced operators. And we would have these 7 a.m. phone calls where John would say, so, how is the hiring of the new CIO going? And we would walk through that plan and how many people I had interviewed that week. And it was actually very helpful to focus, me as an entrepreneur, as a young entrepreneur, on that. And so, but I do think building that team, John famously says, teams win.
Yeah, teams win. Right.
Teams win. So that's, that is clearly true. So I think you do have to, if you're going to execute well, you're going to get great people. You got to have a good strategy and a good idea. I think strategic leaders have big ideas, and they have few big ideas, and then they enforce tough execution against those big ideas. They have to figure out what they are. And they're different. Those big ideas are different in every business. So anyway, I don't think that's much of a recipe. I wouldn't try to follow it. I think people have their own paths. But because you inflicted this on me with no warning, I get to ask one additional question, which is, I would like to know from each of you, if you could make one constitutional amendment, what would it be?
Yeah.